Episode 4, Aperitivo. Written by Nick Antosca, Brian Fuller and Steve Lightfoot. Directed by Mark Jobst. Welcome to Fate and Circumstance, a Hannibal fan podcast. I am your host, Felix Fanfaron Fern, and these are my co-hosts.
Hello, I'm Melisa Suzan, and I don't have anything else to add to my intro today, so this is real, this is me.
Hello, I'm Shaira Bambi, and I was warned by Melissa that I'd lose, but I lost. For context, we did a poll the other day about Jack's soul patch / dad beard / both, and both me and Melissa lost.
I tried to save you from...
You did try to save me.
I tried to save you from a wave of tears. Nobody want to listen to me. This is your swimming pool. Swim, babe.
This is my design. This is the design that I've been designing.
Oh my Christ! Okay,
This is my soul patch design. It's not that you lost. It's just that Jack's sexy dad beard won. That's all.
Yeah, true. He did.
no one's saying that the beard isn't good. It's just the soul patch does not deserve the slander that.
Yeah,
I won't be naming names, but I don't feel like it deserves the slander some people were giving it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, I have a vendetta against any and all soul patches, even Lorish Fishburne. Lorish Fishburne is not immune to that.
That's it. I'm getting a soul patch just for now. No, I'm not. I'm never growing a beard ever again.
Please,
even if you drew one on.
Please, can we get ones that you just like stick on from like costume shops, please?
Yes, I'll do that.
I fucking beg. And just post every day. A photo every fucking day.
I will do that on Twitter.
Yeah.
I could get one and like wear one to Red Dragon
Con.
Yeah.
Keep tagging our what's it called? Our podcast on Twitter.
Yeah.
Soul patch, feeling sexy. Sexier than if I had a beard. Day 2, still feeling hot as fuck. What are you gonna say about that?
Look, there's a grey in the beard. It's just nah. Nothing can beat it. Nothing can beat that beard.
I just put a bit of grey in my soul patch. No, it doesn't work.
No, they're not big enough. It doesn't work. Right. We shall, as we do every week now, start out with some fanfiction shoutouts. More specifically, forcing these two to read some excerpts. This week, we have a really new one and a really old one. And one is spicy. And, well, actually, no, they're both spicy, but one excerpt is spicy and one is not.
Okay.
So, let's begin with Shaira reading an excerpt from Buck Fever by Misfits.
Guess I'll find out which one's the spicy one and which one isn't. Right, Will tried to turn, tried to nod, but the tendons in his neck were wound so tightly he couldn't move in any direction he meant to. Instead, his arms shook wildly at his sides. Hannibal's steady hand was on his shoulder and he tugged him into a patch of light out of the shadows of the bush. Buck fever, he said. Huh? Will gasped out. His eyes widened as he took in the sight before him. Hannibal's eyes still looked black. The dark stains on his sweater were still wet, but his own blood had stopped running down his cheek much earlier. You are shaking, Hannibal replied instead of answering. Your endorphins are in overdrive. It will pass, but... I don't care, Will rasped, and he managed to tug Hannibal even closer by the front of his sweater. Bend over. Uwu? Uwu?
Okay.
Uwu?
Okay.
Uwu?
So that's the spicy one.
Oh.
That was posted on AO3 literally last night.
Nice.
By someone who that is their second Hannibal fanfiction that they've done.
Nice. GG.
Because they found out that buck fever is a real thing that can occur when you go hunting for the first time. You get like really like full of adrenaline and anxious and shaky and kind of sick.
Oh.
So she wrote a really sexy fic about it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a little bit fucked up. It's wonderful.
Yes. I mean, we're dirty fuckers in this show. We're a bit fucked up.
I think you'll find, according to Mans Mikkelsen, we're sick fucks.
Yeah, we're six fucks. That's the word.
That's the official term.
That's the official term. I totally forgot about it for a moment.
So yeah, I highly recommend that people go and check that out. As I say, it's fresh. It's hot off the presses. And I don't read very much fan fiction at the moment, but they posted an excerpt of it. I was just like, okay, I have to read this, and it's great. So now we have an older fan fiction. I think this is from like 2014. So when the show was still going. This is written by two people, Drink Blood Like Wine and Whiskey and Spite, who have done like loads of fan fictions together. So this is Rescues by Drink Blood Like Wine and Whiskey and Spite, read by Melisa.
Hi, that's me. She has never had violent episodes, Hannibal notes softly, watches as Will smiles, soothes to something gentle, understanding, not pitying. Has your dog helped you? Hannibal asks suddenly, as much for pure curiosity as to direct the conversation from Misha a moment more. The question gives Will a moment to pause, but only just a breath before he nods, entirely earnest. He has, immensely, really. People want to help, but he hesitates, seeks the right word, and fixes his glasses higher up his nose once it's found. They aren't there with you inside when it's happening. It's a terrifying loneliness. He's very good at noticing it before I do, Will admits with a small smile. Quick on the draw to pull me back before I go too far away. Colour floods Will's cheeks again, but he pays his own embarrassment little mind. There's no room for it here. When his own condition can benefit another. He raises his eyes again to watch Misha, unable to resist a smile as her cheek is licked and she laughs. Is Misha a dog?
No, Misha's not a dog. Good guess, though.
I'm so confused.
So I'm not surprised with it out of context. So this is an AU set where Misha is still alive and Hannibal's little sister still, but like a bigger age gap, so he's a bit older. Or he's an adult. And she has post-traumatic stress disorder. So Hannibal looks into the possibility of getting a support dog where he comes across an organization run by Will and Beverly, and Winston is Will's PTSD support dog. It's so incredibly sweet.
Aww,
It sounds it.
that's really cute, yeah.
It's really lovely. They write like the symptoms and like effects of PTSD really well. The way they write about using dogs for support is done really well. And it's sexy. So
the dog licked Misha's cheek.
yes.
For some reason, my brain was like, she licked her cheek or she licked someone's cheek. I'm confusion.
Yeah, this is from like near the start when they first go there and Misha is being shown the animals.
Okay.
It's really sweet. It's one of the longer ones. It'll probably make you cry. Highly recommend people read it.
Aww.
Also, those authors have just they've both together written like hundreds of Hannibal fan fiction, so there's shit tons available to read as well.
Awesome.
So, we move on to my traditional question of the week. What did you think of the episode?
So much happens again. For some reason, how was it that like so much fuckery happened? I feel like there's more fuckery in each episode this season than ever.
A lot does happen.
Yeah.
I loved it because I went through a bunch of emotions. One, the primary emotion of, God damn, they're pretty. to Dr. Chilton, to Margot, to Jack, to Will, and not to mention the very pretty who has come back from literally breaking her back as a baddie.
You're so into Marlana.
Alana, look! I just like her growth. I'm just so happy about her growth. GG.
Yeah, she's come back with a little bit of a bad bitch energy, hasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like red lip, hair like extra curled and one to the side. She's like put together. She's all like, this is my sexy era. Everybody fuck off.
She has like the awesome like trouser suits and stuff as well. I love Alana's new look.
Yeah.
With the little cinched in waist on the blazer. Like, okay, we see it.
Yeah, like damn.
Our talking points for this episode are pretty basic. It's probably going to be a shorter episode, just because this whole episode is kind of like, and this character's there, and this character's there,
Yeah,
and this
they're all
character's
alive.
there. So we'll be doing. Most people are alive.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get
actually,
to do a lot of like.
except the one that I want to be alive. I want all of them to be alive.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
almost everyone's alive. So there'll be a lot of character reactions to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
But firstly, this episode is titled Aperitivo. An aperitivo is a light, often but not necessarily alcoholic drink, usually had in the evening or traditionally to signal the end of work and the start of the evening. It's typically served before a meal to stimulate the appetite. Some examples are a glass of wine, a Bellini, a Negroni, or a Spritz, but also non-alcoholic drinks, which are normally like fruit-based, or they could be herb and syrup-based drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Literally the most European thing I've ever fucking heard.
Right, is so European, so Italian.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, we've finished work, let's have a drink.
Yeah, have a drink.
Mood.
Oh.
Other Europeans know how to relax a bit better than people in the UK too, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of having a drink when I go back home. I don't generally drink.
Yeah, but you can have a fruity drink.
That's true.
I read something called like Fruto Aloe, and then I looked it up, and it just meant a million different things, so I didn't write it down. But yeah, like sometimes you'll have like herby drinks, so it might have like the botanicals of a gin, but it's non-alcoholic and stuff like that.
Do you like apples?
Do you like? Yes.
Right, next time you have a long day at work, crack open a bottle of fucking appetizer and tell me you don't feel.
Oh yeah.
Tell me you don't feel like you could conquer the fucking world.
To be honest, I do like if after a long day of work, I crack open I'm a bit of a child. I crack open a bottle of banana milkshake.
Nice.
That gets me.
I thought you were going to say, "Whoa!" I was getting excited. To be fair,
banana milkshake. Oh no, it's not like banana daiquiri or anything.
I love flavoured milks and milkshakes, so I'm all for that. Love a good banana milk. Right, let's get on to our characters, shall we?
Yeah.
There we go.
So, one at a time. We got a lot of returning characters this episode, so let's go through them one by one. Dr. Frederick fucking Chilton is back and making you look. Everyone got on Chilton's team before. You better remember that. So he's making the rounds between the characters. So how did it feel to see Chilton back? And what do you think of his actions this episode?
Smash.
He's a bit booky, isn't he?
Everyone's had a glow up. It's badass.
Yeah.
But what did you think, Melissa?
I was saying he was giving a bit of like booky vibes. He's gone back to being like a bit like, oh, okay, like he's got some hurt in his eye, literally, and I'm confused, a bit put off, but intrigued. Same with absolutely everything else.
I mean, after getting literally, I forgot the word now. After literally getting shot in the face. But no, I was like saying the way that people make other people guilty, but they're not actually guilty. I forgot. Scapegoated. I feel like he deserves it. He deserves to be a little bit conniving and spooky against Hannibal.
He's like, it's kind of not entirely certain how to work him out in this episode because he's going to literally everyone.
Yeah, I think he's a bit desperate.
Yeah,
he definitely seems a bit desperate. But yeah, at the same time, he's good old Dr. Chilton who wants to get his own back. I love him.
Kind of reminded me of like a evil something from like the 2010 versions of Doctor Who. Don't ask me why that's specifically what came to my mind, but it's those kind of vibes.
The Master?
No, not anyone specific. Just the kind of vibes of David Tennant era of Doctor Who baddies.
Okay.
So
You know
it's simultaneously specific and vague at the same time.
Listen, don't
you know
ask. Just if you get the vibes, you get the vibes. That's what he's giving to me.
I get you, and I love that analogy. That works for him.
I think it was like when his face started drooping. I was like, "Am I on something? Did I take something, or am I half asleep, or am I watching Doctor Who? One of those. All
But
of
he's
the
not
above."
he's not a villain. He's a good boy.
Oh.
Okay.
I think my favorite thing about Chilton is that you can never quite tell. He's self-serving,
Yeah.
so it's kind of hard to see him as good or bad. He's just for him.
Yeah, that's true.
I love the way the close-up of the eye when he takes his lens out. I love how the eye looks.
It looks like he's got a cataract over it.
Yeah, but it's really like intense as well. It looks kind of like weirdly pretty. I really like the sort of cataract look to the eye.
Same.
I like the way his face droops as well, and how they had it so that like the bottom of his eyelid drags down. I think the makeup for Chilton in this episode is really good.
Genuinely thought I'd spiked myself.
It looks so good. It looks like he's like having a stroke, kind of the way his face sags down when he takes the mouth
I was
plate
having a
out.
stroke. I was. What is happening?
It's such a good moment. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
One random thing about Chilton is Raul Esparza, who plays Chilton. It was his idea to bring flowers in the episode when he brings flowers to Will. And then I liked the fact that you see him set the flowers down, but then he has the exact same flowers again when he goes to Alana. So I like to imagine that like Will was like, no, so he just reuses them.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I would in this economy.
I think that'd be a very Chilton thing to do as well.
Yeah, well, again,
Just
this
pretend he got them for Alana.
This economy, come on.
Flowers are expensive.
Yeah, flowers.
Yeah.
So, Mason Verger is unfortunately also back.
Hey.
So, how did it feel? It's like a pantomime. How did it feel to see the faceless wonder back on the screen?
He looked like a fucking dinosaur. What did he look like? It looked like a triceratops or something.
That's so specific and strange.
Yeah, his fucking mouth, like it looked like the beak of a triceratops.
I love how your brain works.
Thank you. I don't understand it, but that's where it goes. It just reminded me of a dinosaur. Like, but then also when I was looking at him at front, I was like, he also looks like something out of Star Wars. Crazy. Get what he fucking deserves. Why is he back? Why is he on my screen? Get him off now in the bin.
Shaira?
Yeah, I don't like him. I also, like you said, you before you even said it the other time that I noticed it felt like a different actor, and I just didn't like him. I don't like the guy. He's a dweeb.
He is like the biggest loser of all losers. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see like another level to his grossness as well, because I realized that like in season 2, other than Margot, we never see him interact with a woman, and all of his interactions with Alana are disgusting.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
Yeah, so we see like another like element of his depravity in this, and yeah, like everything is laced with innuendos, and it's super gross.
He's gross. He's just a gross person.
It's just sort of like heightened version of all the horrible, nasty things usually to do with men interacting with women is kind of like the epitome, heightened times 100 fucker.
Yeah, he is a little bit of a caricature in a way. Because you're right, it is like, it's like misogyny 100. It's gross. So as Shaira mentioned, it is a different actor to season 2.
Oh.
So in season 2, Mason was played by Michael Pitt, and in this season he's played by Joe Anderson. There were rumours at the time that apparently Michael Pitt is really difficult to work with, but in terms of Hannibal, apparently that's nothing to do with it, and it's entirely down to scheduling issues. I think rumours tried to spread. Many people don't. I've spoken to a lot of people when I've watched it with people until like someone points it out. They don't notice. I mean, he's wearing incredibly heavy makeup. His voice is different, but you could put that down to what happened to him. So I think it's very natural for a lot of people to not click that the actor's changed.
I was honestly going to say that, like, the voice, honestly, over my head. Like, I didn't notice either. I thought, like, it was very much... And I was going to compliment it as well. It was like the voice, like, the way in which he speaks and stuff, like, does a really good job in playing a really gross fucking character, which is the massive antithesis, isn't it? Like, the ones that, like, the characters that are the most horrible fucking easy to despise people that ever are in turn incredibly well portrayed because you hate them so much. And like the actors are incredible at doing it. I was going to say, like, the voice and everything, I love the actor. I had no idea that the voice was different or he was a different dude. It's so interesting.
It's just like his voice is a little bit more gravelly, but he uses like the same mannerisms as the last actor.
Yeah.
So I think he
Yes.
does a really good job of being both different and the same. He does a great job.
Yeah, and like you
Um,
said, the fact that you could pin it down to everything that happened to him, he's going to sound a bit different. That's
yeah.
literally, I think, what my brain sort of
Mm.
like subconsciously did, because I don't fucking notice. But also, as much as I'm very like observant, I can also be very fucking not observant.
It's incredibly relatable.
Yeah. I could tell. The only reason I could tell that it was different is because I was looking for the actor, because I really liked the actor previously. He was an asshole because the character's an asshole, but I just find him enchanting in that kind of asshole way. You know how
Michael Pitt did a great job.
you know how a villain just the actor just makes a villain the villain. That's what Michael Pitt did. It's like I hate bringing this up as a criteria because all the incels kind of gravitate to him, but it's like, forgot his name now. The Joker, and I forgot his name.
Joaquin Phoenix?
No, Joaquin Phoenix did a bad job, I think. The other guy.
I think he's great, but in a very different way.
I didn't like him.
Are you talking about that cunt, that horrible cunt?
What horrible cunt?
So many people have played the Joker.
You talk about that cunt.
No,
Jared Leto or Jared Leto.
I would hate Jared Leto. No, the one.
Nicholson, Mark Hamill.
Oh my god, what is it?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, that's it. The one that everyone
was a
thinks of.
journey, bro. That was
So many.
There's
long
so many.
journey. But thoroughly enjoyed it. I had no part in this or understanding, but I do know Keith Ledger, obviously.
Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, Heath Ledger made the best Joker. That's what I was thinking. But yeah.
Well, a really good example is Mads Mikkelsen. One of the things he got most famous in, because he started acting quite late in life, as villains. Villains are like what made him big in the West.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so we came to love him through that, and since then he's played a lot more really not villainous characters. Which is very cool.
It's very much his sort of thing, isn't it? Like in the terms of like the way that he looks, his like not in a horrible way at all, but his accent kind of adds to it of just like the mysterious like European that you don't know. Like, do you like them? Do you not? Are they evil? Are they not? They're kind of both. You lose all your fucking morals. That's literally what happens watching the show.
I like him when he plays good characters, but even when he plays good characters, a lot of good characters are morally grey.
Yeah.
Like, I've watched a lot of his movies and I love him, but then there's a lot of moral greyness in his shows.
My brain is just going, Duncan's morally grey.
Yeah, Duncan's morally grey.
So, another return, a better return, Margot Verger. What did you think about seeing our resident lovely lesbian again?
Smash!
What? That's not me.
Oh,
you're the podcast's resident lovely lesbian. She's the show resident lovely lesbian. There's room for multiple lesbians and sapphics in this space.
I'm not even lesbian. I just call myself a lesbian all the time because it's funny.
I mean, I'm not gay, but I call myself gay all the time.
Yeah. I mean, gay apparently is the new queer with the kids. Apparently, saying you're gay is the new way of saying you're queer, so we're all fucking gay.
Yeah, I'm not like specifically lesbian as well. I say I'm lesbian because I'm like 95% sapphic anyways, you know.
I feel like we have the right to say whatever we fucking want.
Exactly. I think so too.
Like, especially like being sapphic women, like if we want to say lesbo for a little lesbian, for a little like cheeky like sprinkle of like I'm definitely feeling like totally lesbian today, like entirely women is just my vibe for the day, then that's what we do.
Look, during the Sunday, I kissed a bunch of girls, and I know that I feel like that allows me to
Fucking
be
work,
lesbian.
babe.
Exactly.
Period.
You earned your lesbian badge.
Yeah. But yes, love her. Love. I love the flirting between them two. Between her and Oh my god! Please give us more.
Alana.
Give us
In
more
it.
Alana / Margot flirting, please. Oh my god.
She's again. This is bad bitch Alana time. Like she's got this new vibe about her. She's been
Yes.
fucked about too many times. Been, this is her comeuppance. Come on, the cherry on the top. Everybody knows that the new bit when you are fucked over by a man so bad and
Yeah,
other
heck yeah.
people and so much trauma, daddy issues, all of it. Yeah, the next bit obviously is you get with the woman. So I'm just waiting for it. That is the natural
Exactly.
course of events that always happens to all of us.
Exactly.
They do have a ship name. Their ship name is Marlana.
Oh my god, I love that.
Shut up. I'm about it. I need to get on that
Same
Twitter
here.
immediately.
Yeah, there are lots of many passionate Marlana fans. You'll be
Fuck yeah, I'm
glad to
going
know.
on back onto
Marlana.
Tumblr. Tumblr's back, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the first time I watched it because I was like cross stitching and stuff. There's so much shit that I missed that I didn't catch the fucking innuendo. Where is that goddamn line? I'll have to find it now.
Isn't it the one that this can be your front door if you? Yeah.
Yeah, this can be your entrance. Isn't easy to find first time you come.
Yeah.
Margot!
I fucking love that. Oh, I freaking love that line.
It goes from that to then Margot like taking her to Mason. The fact that Margot looks at her before she leaves, and then Alana looks back at Margot. It's perfect.
It is perfect. Like,
That's so gay.
That's so gay.
Literally giving like quote in quotation marks straight girl fancies her first sapphic, and I
100%.
am raging ready for it. This is now
It's
my
great.
new meaning to gay sex. When I say
Yeah.
I want gay sex, this is now who I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
I fully support that. Right, let's go on to our next point because it converges with this one, which is finally we now know for sure that Alana is alive. Not only is she alive, but she's sporting a bit of a different look. She was effectively rejected by Will, and she seems determined to join in on revenge against Hannibal Lecter. So what are your thoughts on this and the new Alana?
New Alana is lesbian Lana. Love it.
Yeah. Baddie alert. Baddie alert. Oh my god, she's so cool. I love it. Like every scene she is in, it's like, damn, Baddie, you get it. You get it. You whip those men into shape. You talk like that to disgusting old boy. I keep forgetting his name now. Verger.
Mason Verger.
Mason. Yes, Baddie, and you wear those outfits. Damn.
So good.
I'm here for it. I'm here for Marlana.
Absolutely. She literally dresses like she's already been fucked by her first lesbian lover. Like she literally
looks queer,
like,
right?
She looks queer. She looks
yeah,
queer.
because everyone knows, like when you're like thinking about it and you have your first queer experience, after that point you have a whole nother level of self, like found confidence to the point that you are like, I am the fucking shit, babe, and I'm gonna walk out of here like the world works for me. And then you just walk out looking like your best self. And she was like, I'm gonna show you my waist. If you can fucking catch it, because you don't fucking exist. I'm gonna wear these suits because I don't wear like straight girl attire anymore. This is new me. This is lesbian me. And she said that. And red lip, new hair. She said, I'm for the girls now. Stands on what? Business. Wearing suits. It all comes together.
Yeah. Also, I kind of just like the parallel between Margot and Lana and Hannibal and Will. Like you got the very gothy kind of classy woman with very preppy-ish. Obviously, Alana is a little bit more a lot more different to Will, but it's a similar kind of vibe.
You could definitely compare, Margot and Hannibal a little bit though, with like the dark academia, rich family kind of thing a little bit.
Yeah.
And experienced.
Yes, 100%.
About to show their new quote unquote straight toy. What's up?
See, this is
Their
my
worlds.
problem. I'm a massive Dark Academia fan, but I'm not rich. I can't have a library and a scary witchy vibe. I just have a very
Never
guru
say
vibe.
never, but your dreams.
I just
Yeah.
I just have to Molotov a billionaire and steal their money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
I'm
support
there
that.
for it.
Yeah, I could do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree with everything. I love the new Alana. I think it's like a little bit like the vibes of Alana in season 1 because she didn't take shit from anyone.
Yeah.
And she spoke her mind a lot, but elevated.
Yeah.
And like after all of the frustration of like the heartache she went through in season 2 and like refusing to see the bad side of Hannibal, it's nice to see this like very stern, refreshed, stoic version.
Yeah.
And how she takes no bullshit from Mason.
Yeah.
Scissor.
Finally, babe, you deserve
It's
that.
great. She has evolved.
Yes. And
So
I
good,
get it. I get it. You can't really see past your own assumptions at times. I get why he didn't see past Hannibal.
All it took was just a little nudge out of a window, and now she's a new bitch.
I forgot what word did she say? Oh my god,
Defenestration.
Defenestration. I love that word. Defenestration. Oh.
And it just the entire word that literally just means to push someone out of a window.
Yeah.
It's a very good word.
It's such a good word.
Language is fucking ridiculous, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
So good.
Oh.
On that note, actually, speaking about language, when Chilton goes to see Alana, he uses a phrase that I'd never heard of before, so I just decided to look it up. He says English on the ball.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I've never fucking heard that, so I had to look it up. Apparently, it's referencing billiards, and it means to hit the cue ball at an angle to make it spin.
Oh.
So that like it affects its course. So he
Yeah.
means like small actions to change the course or something.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
I like it. I like that thing.
It's good. It's good. It's a good phrase.
It's a good phrase, yes.
So, on to the man of the hour. In this episode, Will imagines an alternate reality of what could have happened on the fateful night of Mizumoto, which I've just realised I've misspelt in my notes. If he had joined Hannibal and they both took Jack's life. We also hear Will reveal some truths to Jack, that he only decided to warn Hannibal when he heard his voice and that he wanted to run away with him.
Mm-hmm.
He even works on a sailing boat to sail after Hannibal's trail. Does this shed any more light on the Will that we have been seeing in Italy and Lithuania?
He's so gay for Hannibal. He is so gay for Hannibal.
Yeah.
Like, that whole building a whole boat for just to travel to Hannibal. It had to be a boat. It had to be nothing else but a boat.
It's his childhood. It's his origin. It's boating.
Yeah, boating, and
So gay.
so gay.
So fucking gay, bro.
So
Like
gay.
the way that like you just become so infatuated with your it's really giving my first gay love because like you just become so infatuated with the person and then going so far as to go to man's home country where he won't even go. Where your boy won't even go, you're going there yourself because you're like, I need to find out more about this man. How about I just talk to him? No, I'm gonna go to his country of origin and go to his home and like seek out the shit myself. It's like, whoa, okay, like you're deep, your balls deep in this man.
Yes, yeah. It's like he was straight. Well, he wasn't straight. He was wobbling towards it, and now he's just like, I'm in love. I've found my first gay love.
So full, so fast. This whole time he was denying it. He was in the closet with him and himself. He was like, I'm getting revenge on this man. This man fucked me up, and now he's actually like, fuck it. Like now I really love him, and now he's like I said, balls deep in his ass.
I love that. The thing is, I know he also just to mention where he imagined helping Hannibal kill Jack. I would have never forgiven him if he actually did that. Like I could.
Can you imagine how the series would have went if that happened?
Oh my god, I could not imagine that. I could not imagine Will doing that to Jack.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would have like boycott the show and been like, "This isn't right."
No, I think a lot of people would just be like, "I hate Will," and I would have hated Will for that. Because I can imagine Hannibal doing it, and I wouldn't have hated him as much as Hannibal if Hannibal did it. But Will, with someone who's so close to Jack, I couldn't imagine that. Like,
But that's why it didn't happen.
and that's
But
why
the
I
fact
didn't
that
either.
he is envisioning that, he's literally like, I will murder a bitch for you.
Yeah,
And
I'll
that
murder a
is
bitch for you now.
gay as fuck.
That is
Gay as
creepy
fuck.
as fuck. Yep, that's true. But yeah, I still wouldn't forgive him if he ever actually hurt like Jack or anyone nowadays. Now, so, like, you can't. Come on,
I mean,
just run
I
away with your
think
babe.
the reality is it never would have happened.
Yeah.
So it's super interesting just to know that he is envisioning these other options now. He's thought about Abigail. He's thinking about what could have happened.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite things about this is it is so intensely gay, but also I don't think Will knows that.
Does he not?
I think Will, like, in my personal opinion, I think that Will genuinely does not understand that what he is doing is a romantic form of love. I think
Yeah.
he's justifying it to himself as like this intense connection and friendship
Yeah.
that he has. I don't think he realizes his own feelings, and I kind of love that because it's ridiculous. So he doesn't know that what he's doing is fucking absurd.
Yeah.
He just thinks he's doing the right things. It's what his brain is telling him to do.
Yeah.
So he's gone far enough to know that he has this fascination with Hannibal, but he still doesn't know what that is. Whereas Hannibal, I think, very clearly does.
He's so
This is still saying first gay love to me.
Yeah.
100%. Well,
It
it's I really like the headcanon that Will is demisexual.
Ooh.
So he is attracted to people based primarily on their mental connection and personality and intellect and how they vibe, because he's so like not into people generally. But he likes Alana because they have this like professional friendly connection. He gets this weird like mental intellectual connection with Margot.
Yeah.
And then I think that's why he's kind of smitten with Hannibal, but because it's never happened with a man before, he doesn't know that it's that kind of love.
Yeah.
Because he's never had it with a man. And I think like a bisexual, demisexual kind of makes sense. That's why he doesn't understand it, because if you're demisexual, a lot of the time you might think you're only attracted to one gender and that the other isn't an option until it suddenly happens, because you're attracted to people so rarely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that headcanon a lot.
I think that is absolutely spot on, and I think that he is maybe low key going through this of a revelation of it. Maybe he knew a little bit of half of it, but maybe he's like really like coming to his senses. I didn't mean to pause that much after coming.
I
think he's like literally discovering himself through all of this. Discovering that is who he is.
Yeah, I think it goes hand in hand with him like discovering his own brand of violence and stuff as well. I think a lot of Will's moral ambiguity goes hand in hand with his bisexuality. It's all figuring out who Will is and not maybe who he was raised to be.
Yeah.
Especially when you remember that he comes from the South, raised primarily by just his dad. It might not be the case, but the chances of it being not a super queer friendly household or town or environment are probably quite high.
Yeah.
Sure.
I love thinking about Will and his sexuality. So, actually, before I go on to the last point, I just wanted to point out a fun little thing about this episode is the name of Will's boat, which is his boat is called the NOLA, which is an abbreviation for New Orleans. Do you know why that is relevant?
No.
So New Orleans is where Will became a homicide detective.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where he was and where he was working before he relocated to Wolf Trap in Virginia. So he is a New Orleans boy.
I see.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's just a really nice little nod to Will's backstory a little bit.
I like that.
So, final talking point. Technically, we did get one more returning character this episode, which is Bella. How did you feel about finally seeing the conclusion of Bella's story?
A bit
so sad.
weird.
Two kind of different takes there.
I'm so sad.
I mean, it's definitely sad, of course. I'm just like, I mean, I've obviously never been in that kind of predicament or position, and what anyone does is not for any kind of judgment, I feel like, because whatever someone wants to do when it comes to their own family members and things like that, I'm never gonna judge, like, if that's what Jack felt like he needed to do at the time. fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a bit like, I don't know why that point. I don't know. It's just a very like innocently curious why, but also I don't need to know why. It's just what happened.
Is this how she died, do you mean?
Yes, I just didn't expect it to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also just didn't expect. I kind of realized it. I kind of like it is how it is. It's kind of had to happen like that. I think like he finally gave he finally gave Bella what she wanted. She did not want to suffer, and I think he was ready to let go, and he just did it. He just like I can't. Just for my, it was selfish of him to be like, I'm keeping her around for my own self. I feel like, and I feel like he finally realized that no, Bella wouldn't want this. Bella doesn't want to suffer, and he finally realized, okay, you know what, I can let Bella go. And it is assisted dying, but I don't think it was specifically assisted dying because I think at one point her heart would have given out, her body would have given her body would have given out. Why keep her around? I feel like he made the choice at like the cusp of it where it's just too much. Like she could just be sleeping and she could be in her eyes closed and she's just suffering. That's not living at that point, I don't think. And yeah, but that's a much bigger thing to discuss than what we can discuss in this podcast. I hate kind of the whole assisted dying thing myself, but yeah, I think it just is hard for him, and at the same time, so I didn't see that as that when I was watching it. I was just seeing him losing Bella and the whole how much he loved Bella, because just those scenes just absolutely killed me inside. The kind of the wedding scene before it turned to what the actual scene was, which is Bella's funeral. Whew, cried so much tears. So like I went for a roller coaster of emotions. I went like, oh my god, hot. Oh my god, I wanna celebrate these girlies. And then I went like, oh my god, why would you do this to me? So yeah, multiple emotions. Emotional roller coaster.
It is an emotional roller coaster, this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm essentially of the opinion that Jack already knew that Bella wanted to die, essentially, and in a way that was painless and within her control. So I would imagine, we'll never know for sure, obviously, the details. We just will never know. But given their relationship with each other, I would imagine it's something they probably discussed subsequently after her attempt.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I think he knows her well enough and he's watched her decline enough. She's obviously much, much more ill than when we last saw her.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is just aware that she is at the end, and so he wants to make sure that the passing is smooth and painless, because otherwise it would not be, essentially.
Sure.
So I think it's just a case of Jack knows her well enough to know when it's time.
Yeah.
So he does something that's kind of compromised between both of them. He ends her life when she's coming to the end anyway, instead of earlier like she wanted. So it kind of gives them both what they wanted. He got more time with her and she got to go painlessly.
Sure.
So I really like it and I like the decision. I don't think anyone has to like or dislike it. I think any view on it is valid. Interestingly, that was not originally what was going to happen, however. Originally, I think she was just going to pass away. Mads Mikkelsen came along to Brian Fuller and suggested that Jack overdosed Bella.
Oh wow!
And so they did. They put it in the script. So if you want to blame anyone, you can blame Mads Mikkelsen.
In true Hannibal fashion, he hurt me. I'm going to blame Mads Mikkelsen.
A shocking amount of things in the script, especially in season 3, are the fault of either Mads Mikkelsen or Hugh Dancy.
Oh my god!
I was going to say, I love when actors get involved with like really good ideas and they actually like portray really well in TV and film. Yeah,
they do it a lot in Hannibal. A lot of script changes were made because of the actors. Caroline's her surname, the lady who plays Alana, also had input in a bunch of things in this. Raul Esparza is the reason that Chilton gets a walking stick in the second series. There are some changes to Alana in this series because of the actress. There's all sorts of stuff because Brian Fuller would hear ideas and say, yes, that's a good idea, and change the script before they shot the episode. So a lot of Hannibal is collaborative, which is really nice.
And it makes sense because the people that, even though obviously a writer knows their characters, the people that are actually essentially living the characters themselves know them arguably better than the people that wrote them. Because like they really have to embody that person, so it does make sense that they would suggest things that feel right to their character because it's theirs. It's not just the writers. It is literally their own person. That does make sense, and I do really enjoy when actors do that.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. There's more reasoning as to why Maz came up with that idea, but I'm not going to tell you for this episode.
Rude.
You'll find out soon enough. But yeah, as I say, lots of collaboration. It's really, really cool. I will say a couple of little things about the funeral scene. Also, I'll point out, like Shaira was saying, I think the wedding to funeral thing is so cruel and so beautiful. It's such a lovely idea. To just get a little glimpse into what's going through Jack's head and just be reminded again of just how much Jack loved Bella is really sweet. I really like that. So Hannibal's letter, when you see the actual letter, you get a glimpse of some text, but it's very quick. And it's a poem that's written in it that he's quoted by the poet John Donne, which originally he's meant to voice over the excerpt of poem, but they took it out. And I'll tell you what it is, but I can't read poetry to save my life, so it'll just sound like bollocks. But what's written in the letter is, "O wrangling schools that search what fire shall burn this world had none the wit, unto this knowledge to aspire, that this her fever might be it." The poem is called A Fever, and it's about a man losing his wife to an illness and how the loss is too painful for him, and like the world would become an empty carcass with her soul not in it. So the entire poem draws complete 100% parallels to Jack's situation. So it's kind of a shame they cut it. But yeah, the poem is literally perfect. Also, that letter, when Hannibal's writing it, right at the very end, we see a teardrop fall onto the page. And when the camera pulls back and you see Jack is dry-eyed because Jack was not the one crying, Hannibal was.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's just this very, very little thing of like, I think a lot of people would pick it up from season 2, but because Hannibal is so manipulative and where the person sits, it's very hard to tell, but it's just that little confirmation that Hannibal really liked Bella.
Yeah.
She's like the one intellectual, like, equal he gets in the show.
Yeah.
She is just as smart at him. She can match him word for word when he brings up like historical stuff. And I think, as much of a dick as he is, he genuinely liked her. I think he's genuinely upset that she has finally passed away.
Oh, I love that.
Right? It's like, he is a dick, but the series every now and then just pokes you, just like, he's human.
He's human, no, which is why I kind of want to smash him, but whatever.
It's a really nice little detail. It's one of my favourite little subtle things.
I want to smash his head open because he's an asshole.
You got to smash Hannibal in every which way.
Yeah.
It's fine. If you follow Fannibals on Twitter, you'll see a lot of people want to very purposefully hurt Hannibal. Still love him.
Yeah.
Like, I love Hannibal. I think he deserves the worst pain imaginable.
Yeah,
that's just part of loving Hannibal.
Yeah, it's just part of loving Hannibal. True.
You just know he deserves pain. So let's move on to our ending bits.
Oh wow!
Ending bits.
Ending
quotes,
bits.
please.
Quotes. Okay. I'll just be going through every Dr. Chilton quote. I'm kidding.
Hell yeah, my boy.
I love Dr. Chilton quote. Okay, so there was lots of Dr. Chilton quote, but I had a bunch, and I will put that all in. And my favorite quote is one we mentioned already. But but it's not a Dr. Chilton quote, but still the best quote there. And I think I don't think anyone else should any other quote should be given any other thing. No, I'm kidding. Just so Hannibal would be a prize pig if I had him in my hospital, but you do not intend to see him institutionalized, do you? I like that quote. That was just more of a like quote. But what bothers me, another one from Dr. Chilton, what bothers me the most is that I think it was easy for him, shooting monkeys in a barrel. That just made me laugh. And And then I like this one. The optimist believes we live in the best of all possible worlds. The pessimist fears this is true. Oh, actually,
I was hoping someone would say that one.
That was a good one. You know what? I actually have one from Mason Verger, the bastard.
Oh God!
I giggled too much. It was creepy, but I giggled the way he
I
said
think
it.
I know what it's gonna be.
And nobody beats the vision.
I know. I love that line. It's terrible, but why is it funny? It's inexplicably so funny. He's such a twat.
He's such a twat, but I love it.
Hell yeah! I'm glad you mentioned that.
It's such a good quote. Oh. And then another one from Dr. Chilton. A catchphrase is a trademark and protected as a form of property. He's such a sassy bitch.
Speaking of twats.
Yeah. And then I like this one because he knows exactly what Will and Hannibal is like. I would argue with these two. That's tantamount to flirtation.
He says it like it is.
He said it like it is, yes. Him and Jack talking about was it Alana? Jack
talking about the disemboweling.
Yeah, the disemboweling. Yeah. And then my favorite quote is one that we mentioned already, and I think this is just good. I think you had to know this was going to be either mine or Melissa's favorite quote, because sapphics. This can be your entrance. Isn't easy to find at the first time you come.
So good.
Such a good quote. That is my favorite quote. But yeah, I pretty much read the whole script because Dr. Chilton's quotes are amazing and everything else.
Oh, don't worry. I've got a shit ton of quotes that you haven't even touched.
Oh, heck yeah.
Nice. Okay, my one and only favorite quote is by the fucking arsehole, unfortunately, but
another one, hey.
It was just because it tickled me when he said, after he removed his mask, he said, "Now we can talk face to face." I laughed way too much, and I thought, you know what? Fair play. So I had to put it down.
He loves puns and innuendos as much as Hannibal does. It's ridiculous.
I had a good chuckle for that as well. It's a good quote. Yeah,
he's good. He is unfortunately quite often funny.
Yeah, funny bastard.
I mostly have gay quotes. So I have Will saying, "I wasn't decided when I called him. I just called him. I deliberated while the phone rang. I decided when I heard his voice." Because that's gay.
Yeah.
And then I have Will saying, "Because he was my friend and because I wanted to run away with him." So that's gay. Then I have Alana saying, "Friendship with Hannibal is blackmail elevated to the level of love." Because that's gay. And Will responds, "A mutually unspoken pact to ignore the worst in one another in order to continue enjoying the best." Because that's gay.
Yeah.
And then I have two not gay quotes. I'll say the sad one first, which it's not that it's a clever or interesting or erudite quote. It's just it comes out of nowhere and broke my heart, and it does every time I hear it. Which is Jack saying, "Bella's dead. That should change the view from these windows. It's not right if the view stays the same."
My heart.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you say that? And then my ultimate favourite quote of this episode is Alana saying, "I don't need religion to appreciate the idea of Old Testament revenge." She's gotten so evil.
Yes.
So now, favourite moments, please.
Favorite moment. Okay, my favorite moment was with Margot and Alana. I just can't get over that moment. It was great. It was such a great moment. I just loved when they met. I loved how much of a baddie Alana became, and I was just like, "Oh my god, yes, Alana!" And then I saw Margot. I was like, "Oh my god, yes, I love Margot." Yes.
It was one of the sapphics. They said, "We see you, we hear you, we know you love Will, but here's some lesbians."
Exactly. Oh my god, I love that. Yeah. Right. But yeah, honestly, it was for the sapphics, and I loved every moment of it.
Absolutely. So if we haven't noticed, I tend to write some very questionable words down when it comes to my moments specifically. So I think I'm just gonna. Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually just look back at them, even though it was literally probably like 20 minutes before, and I'm like, why the fuck did I write it like that? Anyway, today it was dinosaur face rising up in his chair after face whatever therapy. It's just after the guy was like finished massaging or whatever his face, and then his chair, like just the back of his chair is like lifting him up. The way that the camera is fucking angled, and then you just see his head like rise up into the shot. I lost my whole shite out of my ass. I thought it was the funniest fucking thing because he looks so pathetic. And it's, it's satisfying because his life is difficult and he is a massive wanker. But that was also so fucking funny. So funny. I need that as like a clip that I can just watch on loop.
Yes.
I love you always manage to like find things that I just don't really notice and find them hilarious.
Yeah.
And I love that so much because it makes me see it in another light.
Yeah,
and I
me
love
too.
that.
And
That is literally what I do in life, and everyone's like, "Do we need to check you into Maudsley or something?" And I'm like, "Probably."
I want to live in your head for one day because it seems like a wonderful
Please
place.
do, because I need a break sometimes. It's just like 80 things going on at once. Like, please take it.
Valid.
No.
My favorite moment is Will when Alana leaves Hannibal's house and Will is just sitting there imagining Abigail.
Yeah.
It's like you hear a few notes of a piece of music you hear mostly through season 1 and season 2 that's normally played like during calm moments, normally with Will, and you only hear a few notes that it kind of peters out, and it's like it's really sad, but the fact that they smile at each other, there's just something incredibly sweet about it.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that it seems like Will is like mourning but accepted what's happened at the same time, and he's just taking company in the version of Abigail that like lives in his memory palace.
Yeah.
And just the fact that he's in Hannibal's house after everything as well, and just sitting there for peace. It's sad and it's gay, and you see Abigail, and I love it. I love their smiles at each other.
Yeah, I love the fact that they smile at each other. It's cute. It was but you know what? I'm gonna say this because like I generally have this as well, but I generally like look to my side and smile at something or like smile at. I'm gonna say imaginary friend. It's an imaginary friend. It's probably an imaginary friend, but yeah, similar.
I have cats, so I interact with them instead.
Yeah, well, I don't have cats, so I do the same thing that Will does and smile at a random person who's next to me. That's not.
Oh, well, I'm
crazy.
I'm just going to assume that you imagine Abigail now.
Yeah,
so.
I just imagine Abigail. No, you know what? I imagine Hannibal. I imagine Hannibal and me bloody Hannibal, and he's next to me, and I smile at him. No,
I wouldn't smile at Hannibal.
I wouldn't smile at Hannibal. Oh god, I'm gonna die, aren't I?
Right, give me your next episode predictions.
Predictions? I have no predictions. You know what? I'm gonna go run with it. Do it. Will is going to die.
Jeez, you hate that poor man.
I don't hate that man. I just know he's gonna die.
Has he not had enough? He's been gutted alive.
He's just gonna die. That's the only way I see this show ending. Will is gonna die after he's made his Hannibal family.
He doesn't die in the book.
Okay,
I'll tell you that for free.
True. But he makes his Hannibal family. Hannibal gets upset and Hannibal kills him. He's like, God, done. Only I get to make a Hannibal family. Pish posh. After gay sex, of course. But you know, done. Sorry, I stole your shtick. But you know, you can
no. It's all of our thing. It's fine.
It is all of our thing.
We are all for gay sex. We are all gay. The gay sex is what we want to see.
Yes,
it's all fine.
It's true.
Whoop whoop.
Do you have a jollier prediction, Melissa?
Yes.
Yes, and it's scissoring.
Oh. Nice.
That's it. I predict. I predict a riot. I predict a scissor. Suffolk. That's it.
I support that. I wholly support
Thank
that.
you
I think
so much.
That's a great optimistic thing to want.
Representation, as we'd see two white women flirting.
We believe in Marlana.
Yeah, still gay representation. We'll take it at the time that it was.
Yeah, it's just a different kind. My next episode prediction is that Bella will return from the dead to join Abigail in a zombie horde.
Nice.
Don't say that. That upsets me. That makes me sad.
You wanted Will to die. You will take my prediction and like it.
Okay, you know what? Will die and also join that zombie.
I'd say
zombie thing.
A man never gets a break.
He will never get a break. Unfortunately, with Hannibal around, he's going to continue to get gutted.
I mean, that's kind of fair. Oh, Will.
Poor Will.
Are you ready for my sign-off?
Yeah.
Yep. As ready as they can be.
This one's just silly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're normally silly. This one's especially silly. My sign-off this week is... The next episode is one of my favourites. Someone gets beaten. Fate and Circumstance is an independent podcast brought to you by Felix Fanfaron Fern, Melisa Suzan, and Shaira Bambi. You can find and follow us on Twitter and Tumblr at HannibalPod. We are fans of the show NBC's Hannibal and do not own the rights to any of the materials discussed, merely appreciators. The music used in this podcast is Tchaikovsky's Op. No. 40 Waltz by Kevin MacLeod, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Thanks for listening.